Yeah, so this is how it all came about. So let's take the first tag board here, number 7. ESPN, Madden released its running back rankings. Nick Chubb was the second highest rated running back in the league, which sounds about right. Let's punch to the next tag board. So about 5 minutes later, I'm scrolling through Twitter, and I see this video from Nick Chubb.
Oh, I saw this. That is nuts.
Which is stupid. It doesn't actually tell you how much weight it is, but if you've ever been in a gym, that's a lot more weight than any of us can lift.
What is it, 4 plates on each side or 5?
It's 4.5. Yeah, I think it's 425 as a clean press, which is just stupid.
I've never made the bar bend in the gym, ever. Not one time.
Which that reminded us of the next one, Anthony. Let's punch it.
By the way, come on.
Remember this?
Yeah, that was just.
This was just fun.
That's the
675.
walk-off weight room move
Easy
I've
money.
ever seen.
Nah.
So that led us to thinking, let's create some prop bets for Nick Chubb this year. Let's take the first one here, Anthony. The first one, will Nick Chubb have a 1,500-yard rushing season?
That's a big number.
It's a big number.
It's
He
possible.
won't, guys.
It's possible.
Is he
Of course
capable
it's
of it?
possible.
Yes.
Yes.
He's capable of it. But
That's
with all the
exactly-
Yeah, but
weapons
on this
that they
team,
have,
he's not
It
going
would
to
be
be.
irresponsible
lingering.
play calling if he has 1,500 yards, I feel like.
Yeah.
I really do. You put that
I-
many weapons and
So I can't argue with the Madden rating because you get to call the plays. So you get to decide when you're playing Madden how much you use him.
Right,
And
right.
if I'm playing Madden and I've got Chubb as my running back, he's getting more than 16 carries a game.
I think it's also hard to say how many yards he's going to have until we know
Quarterback.
the Watson
Yep.
Yeah, that's very
decision.
true.
Yeah, but Nick Chubb will put up big numbers in the amount of carries no matter who the quarterback is. I just think he's not going to get enough carries probably to get to 50.
Jason, I'll ask you to address that because I had this conversation with a couple people yesterday. I said that originally. He's going to have a huge number because if Jacoby's the quarterback, but I was quickly reminded that, well, defenses are going to know what they're going to do, and they're going to load the box, and they'll make it more difficult for Chubb.
Well, again, I'll go back to what I said, I think it was last week. Historically, if you run for 8 yards a carry, you're 12-12 over the last however many years.
Right.
If you throw it for 12 yards per attempt, you're 32-1. You have to throw the ball in the NFL.
Yeah.
So as wonderful as Nick Chubb is, as great of a weapon as he is,
Defenses can stop that if they want
It's not
to.
guaranteeing you a victory. As much as ice cream, there's no such thing as too much Chubb.
Right, but
Give it to Chubb.
we all agree they got to throw the ball more. I think they were 6.
Well, that's why I'm saying. So I think Kevin understands that better than all of us put together.
Yeah.
So even if it is Jacoby at quarterback, I think 1,500 probably is still a little bit too high of a number.
There's
the
only
thing is,
one player in the NFL that got it last
they're just
year.
so talented at running back. Then it'd be one thing if it was empty behind him,
Right.
you know, and everybody else was so subpar or something. But they have other options. So even when teams do stack the box, then you can, you have another. You don't know where it's going, who it's going to.
Yeah, so you're taking the under. I'm taking the under.
I'm taking the under.
Do we have anybody, G. Bush, that's taking the over?
The over is a tough one. 50, he might get to 1,500, but
that would be the over.
That wouldn't be. Did you guys make up that prop?
No, that's from Pro Football Focus, actually. The other two we made up.
And I did see that
one
on
was
Vegas.
from Pro Football Focus.
I will say this. One thing you have to take into account for, he does play 4 weak opponents in the first part of the season. And if they do get the lead, they will be running the ball
Yeah, that's
a
true.
lot.
And there is an extra game that I don't think our brains have really
Yeah.
factored
No, I know.
in.
We always
haven't
think of
processed that
1,500.
yet.
Yeah, but
16
again,
games.
last year they had the extra game and only one guy had more than 50.
But also, there tends to be a game or two every year where Chubb is dinged and he's not out
Right.
there.
That's part of it, too, yeah.
And it's not a fault of his. It's a position that's high impact, obviously.
Kareem Hunt could get hurt too. That would affect his running because he does get
There
hurt.
is also the factor that we haven't had here in Cleveland. We've never had a running quarterback.
That's true.
So when you have a running quarterback and you're a defensive lineman and defensive end, you can't just be running around. Like, you can't just run down the line and tackle somebody from the backside on a stretch or a zone play. Now you have to watch all fakes. You have to watch counters. You got to watch the quarterback. You got to stay contained.
Yeah.
There's so many different things that you got to watch for that even when Michael Vick was not a really great passer, his team was always rushing for over 220, 30 yards just because of what they could do in the running
So are
game.
you taking over or are you going under?
I'm still going under it.
Right.
I think
It's
Kareem
just
Hunt
too high.
end up with
He's going to have
800
another
yards.
great season.
Nick
but
Chubb would take the under because he's so humble.
Yeah.
Probably. He'd be
He
like,
would take
I
the
don't
under.
know if I
Jason,
could do
I think
1,500.
your analysis was spot on. Could he? Absolutely.
Yeah. Of
course, we all-
as
yeah,
easily
yeah.
as anybody in the league.
Sure.
Will he? Track record says probably not.
Yeah.
Let's get to our next bet. This was a Mike Lucas, Anthony Antonelli combo special. Let's
Nice.
take it, Steve, 24. Over under 11.5 touchdowns this year for Nick Chubb.
Just rushing or total?
Just rushing.
I mean, he gets most of his touchdowns right.
I'm taking under.
That's a lot of touchdowns.
What did he have last year? Someone help me.
He had 8 last
but he
year,
wasn't- but-
12 the year before, and then 8 the previous 2. Steve, if you
Give
want
me
to
a
take
buzz.
with
25,
Hunt,
you can
and
punch
with
that
Hunt,
up.
an option and an
And-
O-line option
Deshaun Watson's going to do some quarterback keepers, which Baker did not do.
No.
You're going to see quarterback sneaks with him.
You know what? As much as we've struggled from
Yeah.
inside the 5, when
What a
you throw
difference.
Watson into this offense,
Yeah.
and now
Yep.
he's the man. I don't think our red zone percentage when he's playing is going to be through the roof.
I actually will say over, even though I think Watson's going to have a number of touchdowns rushing, which he has in his career. But I think in the games he plays, I think the Browns are going to score a boatload of touchdowns.
If he gets 12 touchdowns, I'm loving our chances.
I'm giving him exactly 12 on the year.
Okay.
14 touchdowns.
Wow.
He's going to score a bunch in the first half of the season.
Yeah.
When they get to the red zone, if Brissett's the quarterback, it's the Chubb show.
They might run it 4
time
times.
after time
Yeah, but
after time.
it could be Hunt too.
Well, that leads us to our next question. You want to just get right into it?
Well, wait. Mike and Jason didn't.
I'm
answer
taking the
over-under.
under. I'll be the wet blanket, even though we'll never go back
I took the
we'll
under,
never
too.
go back and look at this
We
footage.
should.
And I
We
should
should
just
always-
I
people
should just
should.
be positive all the time, probably,
No,
because no
the
one will
people
ever
who
know.
love you.
Yeah, just be like,
Or you could-
I'm 15, 17.
Give me
You're gonna get
30.
Or you could
17.
be like Colin Cowherd and just pretend you're right even when you're wrong.
right. Just
Jason,
ignore it.
over under.
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 That's a really big number.
Yeah.
I don't see it.
Yeah,
With
I-
the
Jason's a
weapons that
negative
they have.
Nelly.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
that's not negative. You just
Why do you hate the
realistic.
Browns? Why do you hate the Browns?
Come on, start tweeting Jason is negative. Let's see that on
I
get
get
it
enough
going.
of those.
That
Start
leads us
trending.
right to our final prop bet, though.
Yeah.
You mentioned Kareem Hunt. We've talked about Nick Chubb. So who scores more overall total touchdowns in 2022?
Definitely Chubb.
Chubb.
Chubb. As I choke on coffee. Chubb for sure.
Yeah, it'll be Chubb, but it'll be close.
It's a clean sweep.
I think Kareem Hunt does get double-digit touchdowns, though. I think he gets 10.
He's going to be playing with his hair on
20
fire.
How they
touchdowns.
get
They're gonna
24
score this year.
touchdowns from running backs?
Yeah, 24.
Well, Kareem will have a bunch receiving.
See, receiving.
Yeah.
he
Right
will
now,
receive
you're
it.
kind of being that dude. Yeah, I got a 17-0. Duh, Browns.
No,
You're kind of being that dude right now.
No, I mean 10 touchdowns is not when he catch the ball so much. I mean,
God, I hope you're right.
If he has 6 touchdowns on the ground,
No,
and
wait.
4 in the air,
No, I thought
that's
these were
10.
just rushing touchdowns.
No, he
No,
said total.
Kareem Hunt
touchdowns?
Chubb was total. And just some numbers for you
Still,
guys
those,
real quick.
man, 24. Has a backfield, how many times has a backfield combined for 24 total
I'll look that up in a
touchdowns
second,
season?
but real quick, just to give you a
You
little
think it's
context.
happened a lot?
No, I'm saying.
Not a lot.
I'm saying that's
Give
a
you a little
lot.
context on Kareem Hunt. He had 11 touchdowns total as a rookie, 15 his second year,
Yeah.
Yeah, but
9.
just
When he was being used as he should be.
here it comes.
Yeah.
Here
9.
comes the drop off.
And here's the drop, yeah. Well, he did have 11 in 2020, and then just 5 last year.
He had 11.
He was hurt a lot last year.
Oh, he
He
had
was
11,
hurt.
11 in 2020. Like, that's 10. He got one less than he been
Listen,
doing.
G. Bush, I hope to
G.
God you're right.
Dearness Johnson, 12 touchdowns? 3. 3. All right.
I got
Maybe.
Ford with 10.
Ford with 10. God.
And Watson's
let's
going to
just-
throw for 4,000 yards.
Yep.
In
No,
6 games.
Amari Cooper's going to have 20.
Yep.
Amari Cooper, 17.
We're averaging 75 points a game this year.
All right, listen.
I got that free agent basketball tight end with 7.
Hey,
I don't even know his name.
Hey, don't get me on Njoku. I told you.
Yeah.